All right, let's take a step back. I mean, a really, really big step back. We're going to try and get a little cosmic perspective on, well, on pretty much everything.
Okay, so let's start with something we all know. This is Earth. It's home. It's where you live. It's where I live. It's where every single thing in human history has ever happened. Seems pretty straightforward, right?
But if this is our home, then you gotta ask, just how big is the neighborhood? And no, I don't mean the street you live on. I'm talking about our cosmic neighborhood, the solar system.
So let's start with our closest neighbor, right? The Moon. At its farthest point from us, the Earth and Moon are separated by over 252,000 miles. Now that's a huge number, for sure, but you can kind of wrap your head around it, maybe.
I mean, it doesn't look that far, does it? It's just a little gap in space. But think again, because that little gap is hiding something absolutely incredible about the scale of our solar system.
Get this is an incredible fact. You could take every single planet in our solar system, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, line them all up side by side, and they would fit right inside that distance. Yeah, that's how much empty space there is just between us and the Moon.
All right, let's zoom in a bit on the planets themselves. Take Jupiter. It's got this storm, the Great Red Spot, that's been raging for like centuries. And this one single storm is twice as big as our entire planet. Can you even imagine that? A weather pattern that could just swallow the Earth? Twice.
Okay, moving on out. We've got Saturn. It's about 9 times wider than Earth. And those gorgeous rings, they're not solid. They're made of billions of pieces of ice and rock. And get this, some of those chunks are as big as mountains.
But, as mind-bogglingly huge as these planets are, they are absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing, compared to the real star of the show. Literally, the center of our solar system, our sun.
So to really feel this scale, we need to change our perspective. Okay, here's Earth from the Moon. Familiar enough. Now, here it is from Mars, getting smaller. Here we are from just behind Saturn's rings. Wow, just a tiny little speck of light. And finally, this is Earth from just beyond Neptune, 4 billion miles away. That tiny pale blue dot, that's us. That's home.
I just casually said 4 billion miles, but what does a billion even mean? It's so hard to grasp. So let's try this. Think about time. 1 million seconds. That's about 11.5 days. Okay, but 1 billion seconds. That's over 31.5 years. That's the crazy jump in scale we're talking about here.
So, back to the sun. How big is it compared to us? Well, the sun is 109 times wider than Earth. You could cram about 1.3 million Earths inside of it. That is humbling. It's almost terrifying when you think about it, isn't it?
And just think about how dominant it is. I mean, even if you're standing on the surface of Mars, millions of miles farther away, the sun isn't just some other star in the sky. No way. It's still this huge, commanding presence up there. But here's the thing. Our sun, it's just one star. One, among countless others. The great astronomer Carl Sagan put it best. He said, the total number of stars in the universe is larger than all the grains of sand on all the beaches of the planet Earth. Just let that sink in for a second. Every beach, every grain of sand.
And just when you think you've got it, here's the next twist. As massive as our sun is to us on the cosmic stage, it's kind of wimpy. Yeah, there are stars out there that make our sun look like a little firefly.
So say hello to VY Canis Majoris. This beast is one of the largest stars we have ever found. It's about 2,000 times wider than our sun. If you were to swap our sun out for this thing, its surface would reach past the orbit of Saturn. It's just impossible to wrap your mind around that.
But even a monster star like that is still just a single point of light. It's part of a much, much bigger structure. So, you guessed it, we have to zoom out again, this time to the scale of a galaxy.
Okay, to help with this next leap, here's a fantastic analogy. Imagine you could shrink our entire solar system, everything, all the planets, the sun, down to the size of a quarter. Just a little coin. On that same scale, the Milky Way galaxy would be about the size of the entire United States. Our whole solar system is a coin inside a galaxy the size of a country. In actual numbers, our galaxy, the Milky Way, is about 100,000 light-years across. If you try to turn that into miles, you get 621 quadrillion miles. Yeah, the numbers basically become meaningless at this point.
They're just big.
And somewhere deep inside all of that, in some quiet little corner, in a spiral arm, orbiting a pretty average yellow star, there's a tiny blue planet. And on that planet is you, right here, living in this tiny, tiny sliver of the Milky Way.
But of course, the story doesn't end there. Even our huge galaxy is kind of a little runt compared to some of the others out there. Check this out. This is NGC 6744. It's a lot like our own galaxy, except it's twice as big. 200,000 light-years across.
So we've gone from planet to star to galaxy. There's really only one place left to go. Let's think bigger.
Okay, look at this. This picture is from the Hubble Space Telescope. They pointed it at a tiny dark, what they thought was an empty patch of sky. And this is what they saw. Those aren't stars. Every one of those little smudges and swirls of light is an entire galaxy. Thousands of them. Each one with billions of its own stars and who knows how many planets.
And what's really wild is that when we look at this, we're not just looking out into space, we're literally looking back in time. The light from the farthest galaxies in this picture has been traveling for 11 billion years to get to us. So we're seeing a snapshot of the universe when it was young, just 3 billion years after the Big Bang, a time when it was churning out stars like crazy.
And just remember, this whole picture, all those thousands of galaxies, it's from a patch of sky so small it's like looking at a grain of sand held at arm's length. Every problem you have, every victory, every single moment of every human life, it all plays out on that little pale blue dot, lost in this impossibly huge cosmos. So, with all that in mind, how's your day going?